Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. I got a recent message saying, hey, aren't you uploading to Plot Chronicles? And I said, well, yes. Well, what happened was some of the videos I put on another date by accident. So I'm a little bit behind on videos. Also, I've been reading, but sometimes it's hard to keep up with all the reading. And I want to make sure I'm not skimming books, that I'm able to tell you enough about the book so you can make an informed decision if you want to read it. I'm also working on reading different types of books. Even though 80% of what I read is mystery thriller, I'm trying to read different types. I just recently read an old book that somebody recommended to me. Actually, my dear friend Kate, she told me to read something by Joseph Murphy. So I think this is an older book. It's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I thought this would be a really good book to read. Now, many of you will know this, and I always love to give examples. I want to give you a review of what I think of the idea about the study of the subconscious mind. I definitely want to hear from you. I want to tell you what I think about it, and then I want to tell you some things that I don't like about people writing books about this, and I'll explain in a moment. But you've heard people before that are really, really positive, right? And they're always happy. Well, a lot of times because somebody chooses to be happy and they're always in a good mood and things like that, and even if things are going rough, they attract more good in their life. And a lot of that is common sense. If you're always going to complain about something, then guess what? You might attract more negative experiences in your life, okay? If you're positive and kind to others and you treat other people well, you're going to get that back. If you're not kind to people and you're defensive and unpleasant, you're going to attract those kind of people. I mean, a lot of this stuff is what I call common sense, okay? And basically, the power of the subconscious mind is mostly about, and this is to sum it up of how I take this book. It is about being positive and proactive and changing our mindset and thinking outside the box. That's kind of what the book, The Magic of Thinking Big was about. And I kind of think these two had a little similarity, is that it's all about positive thinking and what your approach is and your mindset. And I do want to give a couple examples. Now, he didn't write these examples in the book, but I'm going to give you these examples. I feel like in many ways I have a positive mindset in some areas. Not in all areas, in some areas. And because of that, I feel like I've attracted more pleasant people. And I'll give you a couple examples. Have you ever heard somebody that has a job and they say something like, oh, everybody at my job has a cold, or everybody's getting the flu, it's going around, and I feel I'm coming down with something, I'm sure I'm going to catch it too. Well, what ends up happening is they end up catching the flu, right? Well, one thing is, I always say, I'm always feeling good, I have a lot of energy, I have really good health, I have a good immune system. Well, for the most part, I feel good most of the time, and I feel energetic. And I do think that my mindset does have something to do with this. Another area for me is I have quite a few friends. I have some lovely, wonderful people in my life. I am really blessed with a lot of people that love me and have been really good to me and have just been so generous and kind in so many ways. This is over the years. And I feel like I've attracted that because I also work on being kind and loving, compassionate, non-judgmental to people. And so I get that back. Like people say, oh, since, the pandemic, everybody's so rude. And whenever people say that, I said, really? I said, I haven't found that to be true. I said, I'm meeting kind and loving people all the time. I said, I have a good word for everybody. And so saying that, I feel like I attract that. But we all have areas that we might struggle with. Another example, this would be on the negative side. You've heard people say, I'm older now, so it's going to be harder to lose weight. I have a slow metabolism, so it's almost impossible. Well, then it's hard for them to lose weight. Now, I love the idea of this book, and I definitely think a lot of it's true. But I do think that many times we can get stuck in old paradigms and old mindset. I know in many ways I've got a lot of positive things, but I do have negative things, like the thing about my weight. I actually think, well, I've pretty much always struggled with my weight, so I probably always will. And because of that, maybe I'm attracted to that in my life. On the other hand, I definitely believe in all these things, but I do think people can take things too far. Like, well, I'm gonna think positive thoughts and I need a job, so I'm gonna sit back and just think positive thoughts and journal about it, and I know that, a job will come my way. Or, you know what, I am feeling thin today, so I know that I'm gonna attract health and thinness in my life as they eat 20 burgers. You get the idea. I think it's the subconscious mind, and learning about it is wonderful, but I think we do need to put actions behind these things. We can't, in my opinion, just sit around and think positive thoughts. You do have to take action steps to change your life. And I think we all have different struggles too. I do have to say this, when I was a book that I was listening to, because it was on audio, I noticed this. I was listening to it, I ended up feeling exhausted after listening to it. I think these kind of books are good, but you can only read a little bit at a time. What do you guys think about the study of the subconscious mind, positive thinking? Do you think people can take it too far? What are your thoughts on it? I want to hear from you in the comments below. That's all I have to say for now. I love you, appreciate you, and I'll hope to see you on tomorrow's video. Bye, everybody.